Greetings and welcome to Project Pandora. I am Darkling and this of course is Ark Survival Evolved. Today we're hopefully going to complete the last of the main structural work on the towers. So as you can see behind me, the first two towers are looking pretty good already. The back two are underway. They will take probably the current video to actually finish, and then we can move on to something else. So stick around and hopefully you'll learn a few new tricks. So we left the last video working on the walls here, trying to get it done in a hurry, but it didn't work out so well, so time to finish that up now. Far away. So with any luck we can get the towers completed. I'd like to get them out of the way. There's going to be more done on the towers. One of them is going to be a greenhouse, so that'll need some work. And I still need to add the railings around the outside of the walkways, but that is part of the trimmings that I'll do afterwards. So at the moment I am, why is that not there we go. I am currently working on the main structure. So I do a build in stages. I will work on the structure of the whole build, get that into place, and then I'll go through and tidy it up and get everything into place the way I want it to. That's one of the joys of having S+, is being able to remove sections after you've already added them. Now I have been on a server that had settings that you could pick it up only for an hour, and after that hour's gone by the structure is permanent. I gotta say, I didn't really like that. It really doesn't go with my style of building. I'm just gonna get in there to fill in those extra few bits. Yeah, I prefer the ability to pick things up much later. Obviously it's just the way I work. No, it doesn't matter, it's fine there. It's not so much a major if these top ones aren't quite perfect. As long as they're not perfect together. Come on. There we go. I'll have to come in to tidy up the other ones once the outside walls are completed, but that's not a major. We'll take half of those. Actually, I should just be able to snap them down. Oh, that's above. Never mind. Yeah, there are times where you don't have to worry about snapping so much in places that you won't actually see. Whoops. So you can stress a little bit about hard to see places. Like I said, you've got to really pick and choose where things are going to be. Obviously, this particular spot, I don't want to snap it to the ones above. Come on, that's the one I wanted. And that one. That's because I didn't bother getting the top ones perfect. One there. Now, I'm not sure how much of these are actually going to be turned into glass. I don't want to turn too much into glass because I think it will detract from the look of the tower. I think it looks really cool the way it is. Of course I want some glass just to lighten things up on the inside, but I'll have to work that out as I go along. Now I feel like something's... Oh, I haven't put the back side of these slopes in up here. Sorry to be shoving you into a wall while you're watching this, but got to get the positioning just right. Okay, I need some slope roofs again. The last video was recorded late last night, and this one's obviously not. It's nice and early in the morning for me, so I'm a bit fresher, so you can tell that I'm actually conversing a little bit more. It's just one of those things when whenever I had time to record, when nobody else is around and when I don't have other things I need to get done. Not that I usually have too much to get done. It's more just having the time when somebody else is not around. I don't like to record when the other half's at home, just because she then has to make sure she doesn't make too much noise, and if she wants to listen to music or whatnot, it's just easier if I do the recording elsewhere. Now, hopefully the cat who's in the background doesn't continue to make annoying noises and try and be on the video. I'm going to have to do that from the inside, I think. See, I'm spamming the Q to see if any spots will actually drop into that spot, and so far, no. So I'll have to come back to that on the tidy up. It's fine. So we have to bring these down again. Now I wonder if I'll... no, I will do that first. Definitely looking a lot lighter having that glass above, so that's going to be a bonus. Now I won't be able to put the back line in because, gee, that one there shouldn't even be there, I don't think. Do you know, maybe it should be. 2 and then 1 up. Yep, okay, it definitely does need to be there. I can't get that snap from there. Sometimes you're going to have to really move around a bit to get the angles you need. You'll get used to it. The more you do it, the less of a problem it'll be for you. Sometimes you'll just end up having to re-snap it a bunch of times. Because of some of the snapping tricks that I've got, like the snapping to the opposite is probably the biggest. You save enough time there that I'm not usually too worried if I do have some issues like this where things just won't snap in. Oh, that was close. Quite the way I want them to. Because I've saved myself time elsewhere, I can afford to spend a little bit dealing with the annoying parts. Okay, so those are looking good. I'm going to need a snap. Oh, need a snap downwards. So I need to find a spot. See if I can get it to flip. I need one of these sides to flip to get that drop. Now, I wish there was some method in the snapping system that, as long as you've, like once you've hit Q, it anchors it to that snap point, so even if you're moving up and down, it still registers as being connected to that point. I think the fact that you're moving up and down, once you've got the initial snap in, well, not in place, but once you've got it sort of anchored into where you're meant to be cycling it from, I think it shouldn't jump around so much. Okay, so ignore the top one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm gonna need more. Close can I get? 7, 8, 9, and I need one more ammu. go. How do I look? Yeah, that's totally natural. Okay, so the bottom one again was just to make sure I can get that snap on there. Now which side are we? Oh, wrong side. No, I don't know why I'm doing that on quits. That is a very bad idea. Things are looking pretty good. I'm actually at the point now where I'm really looking forward to seeing the base completed. Like I'm always wanting to see it completed, but I'm at the stage now where I can see the outside of the base is looking like a pretty good base. I've said it before in other videos, I've had bases where it's right up to the last stage I'm not really liking a build. And basically I'll build it and build it and build it, and as I'm going I'm thinking, God, this looks terrible, it's really not up to my usual standards, and then the last stage goes in and it's like, oh no, that's really cool. It's just one of those things that just sometimes it doesn't quite look right until you're actually at that final point. 2, that one's going to be 2. See, that's 2 as well. So reposition for the next one. I should really test my push to mute before I start a video each time. Got a bit of hay fever today, so hopefully the push to mute's working, otherwise you're going to hear me all sniffly. I test the recordings for like volume every single video. Since I had one of them where it actually muted my volume. Oh. Nope, that didn't work. Oh, that's a bugger, he's on top there. Oh, cool, we did get out. And the amount of times I've done that and the Quetzal's actually gotten stuck. Okay. So I can pull that one off, and I'm going to need... which way did that snap? Okay, it snapped the wrong way. See, because a wall will always snap to the same direction as the wall above, if you're not sure quite how it placed, it's the one below it will always face in the same direction, so you can just check the arrow by trying to place another one. Nice and easy. If you hadn't noticed already, the process for building this base is actually really simple. I've said to people before, I don't get why some people find it overly complex to do some of the builds that I do. I know some of the designs are a little bit different than what you'd normally see, but the actual techniques involved are just the same techniques that the average player uses to build a base. It's not a terribly spectacular change from that. It's just using them in a way that goes with the design that you're after. So as you can see, if you've been following the video this far through, I've snapped nothing really in place that I haven't covered in my basic tutorial videos. There's no funky overlaying snap points at this point other than the elevators. Okay, this is going to have to be snapped to the opposite. Ooh, I should have placed it. No, that's not going to work. It's that one there I want. Let's try snap to the opposite straight away. No. Hey, okay. Server lag, fine. Now hopefully we don't get too big that we start getting building lag, because that will be annoying. Okay, I'll snap that one to the opposite as well. No, I won't. Apparently that doesn't work. So reposition, and fine. Some parts it's just whatever angle you're facing has to be good compared to what the snap point is. Sometimes it's side on, sometimes it's end on. Okay, those are all nicely in place. Build up from that. Obviously that last one snapped in the wrong place, I'll fix that in a moment. Oops. Because that one is there, that was causing that one to snap. A little bit funny. Oops. It'd be interesting to see how many structures were actually involved in this project. I'll have a quick glance at the cupboards when I finish. I'm not sure if I'm going to do actual numbers. I might take a screenshot and just be done with that. There will be other things that get spawned in for this base. As I go along, I might add some tech lights or something like that if I haven't already put those in the box. For the most part, my videos are based on structure, the actual architectural side of things, more so than the decorating. Although I do think the decorating is important to a certain degree. Are you stuck in there? Hope you're not. And I do have a few people that have asked me about my vanity building in the past. I might do at least a room of vanity build in this, but I don't plan to do much because as cool as it looks, it is time consuming and I do want to get the build done in a reasonable amount of time. Oop. No, that's too much. With the mic in front of my keyboard, I can't get my hands on the keyboard fast enough to type. I'm a touch typist and can type pretty quick when I'm in a hurry, but when you've got something in front of you, it's, yeah. You can't type fly fast enough, or cheap fly. Looking back on that last one, it looks like I didn't type cheat fly so much as seawet fly. Okay, let's grab some of those. I'll place the walls around the bottom first. I'll leave a gap just to get in and out of. Oh, no I won't. I will not. I need to access you. Can I reach you? Or did I park you too far away? Oh, I may have parked you a little bit far away. No worries. I'm a builder, I can work around it. So what I'm going to need is some tries. I'm going to use the same technique as before, because you can build down off a ceiling and keep the snap points nice and even. The annoying part is actually more just making sure you've got them in the right place. So that's two, that's two, that's two. Again. And now I can snap. I'd be willing to bet that most people, when if they were to watch the whole series, they would look at it and think to themselves, well, why doesn't everybody build like that? It's not the hardest of methods to actually follow. I mean, everything in here is pretty logical, pretty basic. The main issue is time. That one is not meant to be there. I have a feeling something's snapped on the bottom there, but that's not a problem. Okay, it's snapping to the ceiling. It doesn't matter if they overlap a little bit, that's fine. Not in a place where it's going to be problematic. Use this little outcropping. Now, I'm going to have to get the quits out of there now, otherwise I will wall them in again. So some of the videos I'm talking a lot, some of the videos I'm not, and others are just sort of in between. It just depends on how I'm feeling on the day as to how much I want to talk. I do want to keep you guys entertained, but as a builder, I'm hoping my entertainment is literally going to be my building. I'm not really doing this for the popularity contest. I'm not trying to, like, I could go through and do the YouTuber and get the thing and get super excited and talk really awesome, and I'm trying to keep this as me talking to a friend on Discord. There are times where I might get a bit excited and like when something's going really well for me, I might speed up and sound a bit more exciting, but I'm not going to put it on for you guys. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't want to make myself sound that much more exciting just to make you guys watch. If you're not watching this for my building, I don't know what you're watching for. I'm going to need more tries. That's unfortunate. I need more tries. As far as it goes, 1, 2, 3. Might actually be the... Okay, I won't pull them all out because I think that's actually going to be a floor. Funnily enough, I'll go around the outside. I have to go through that wing. I find it so disorientating when you get pushed through a build. Come back that way. Because I have to hop on it. Okay. Oh, maybe I should have actually pulled those out. No, I think I will pull them out. The reason I'll pull them out is I don't want to have to mess around making sure I've got the right snap point, so I'd rather just be able to place them. I'm not going to pull the others off just yet. I'll get myself in a better position first, because I don't want to accidentally de-snap the bottom section. So I will connect that first. Now this is going to be the greenhouse level, however the outside of the greenhouse shouldn't be a problem. As long as the top is greenhouse glass, I shouldn't have any issues with not getting the greenhouse buff. Oh, that one's on one of those tri pieces. It's the dip and sway of the... See, there you go, it's really easy to pick up the wrong piece. Must remember to check the video to make sure the push to mute was working. I'd hate to release the video and have me just sniffing all the time. So I don't actually... oh, is that all the walls I've got? Oh, that's a bugger. When I do my recordings for my tutorials, I don't actually... A red drop. I don't actually watch the videos. As I'm recording, if I notice I made a reasonable mistake, I will hit the escape button and bring up the menu, and then that's a point where I know that I need to stop, and I'll just have a quick scan through to find those points, fix the errors or whatever that is that I decided I need to fix, and then I will just sort of stitch it back together. I don't actually watch start to finish, so there may be mistakes in my videos. I know of one video that I did make a mistake on. That didn't work. Not quite wide enough to turn around on. I was a bit too far away. I can't load up as easily as I would like. Yeah, I made a mistake on one of the videos, and it wasn't a big mistake, but I think it might have actually gotten me my first dislike. And I've said it in other videos, if you do dislike something and you plan to click on the dislike, leave a comment as to why. I would like to know what the reasons are that you are disliking it. I've heard people dislike things for strange reasons, and I'd like to get an idea as to what those reasons are. There are some PvP players out there that don't like PvE builds, so they seem to feel the compulsion to actually go through and dislike any PvE builds. This is confirmed. This is something that people have actually done, so I'm not sure they're thinking on it, but you know, some people like to be a bit trolly. I think that's going to be enough to finish there. I wonder if I've got any railings. Last rails. Let's take a bunch of those as well, and then we can actually do a bit of railing while we're at it. Now I'm guessing it's getting a bit dark for you, so I might just reset the time of day. I don't mind building in the dark. I quite like the ambience of Ark at night. I especially like builds at night. Builds look fantastic at night time. It really makes them stand out nicely. I just realised I forgot yet again to start my stopwatch. I've got it sitting on the other screen. I looked over to see how long the record is going, and it's still sitting at 0 seconds, so I've got to watch my time and make sure I don't run out again this time. Take half a stack of that, thank you very much. I don't like having to check the time via the recording software, because every time I switch over to do it, it like makes the video go a little bit funny. But it happens. I suppose I could edit it out, but it's a lot of work just for a couple of seconds of funny video. I'm sure you guys can handle it. Most of you can. Some of those trollier ones, or who knows. I'm not willing to pop that out just yet. I haven't done a proper anchor up here yet. Now it will probably snap just fine with the sloped. As you can see, there's a slight gap up there. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting snap right. Oh, that's not going in place, of course it's not. Oh, what am I doing? I'll just do it here. What an idiot. Yeah, I said it. I'm an idiot. Yeah, my builds, I mean, I really enjoy doing them. I don't see them as being anything particularly special. I've had people tell me I'm crazy for thinking that they might be too plain. Damon Whalen was the last one that I sent him a screenshot. I don't think I've said this before. I sent a screenshot at hour 9 and asked him, you know, is it looking okay? Is it looking too plain? And yeah, his reply was like, are you kidding kind of thing. It wasn't quite the words he used, but it was the effect that he was giving. See, I see these builds so much that I'm desensitized to how they look, you know. To me it's just a build. It's not necessarily anything special. If I hadn't seen any builds for a while and saw some of these, I'd probably be like, hey, that's cool, yeah, I like that, or something along those lines. I'm gonna rail this one just because I want to have some more of it completed. Is it going to be too low to jump up there? Probably. Nope, it's fine. I was going to leave this to the end, but I'll probably do the remodel at the end. I want to just get it feeling a bit more completed. See, this will be turned transparent, and then I will tint it ever so slightly. Well, probably more than just slightly. I'll tint it a reasonable amount. I still need to cover those in, but that's fine. I can do it when I actually build the greenhouse area. It was good that I removed the wall or the floor out of there that I had, because this is actually going to be the greenhouse, so I can't use stone. Stone on the bottom's fine. The very top level, instead of just being a bedroom, that's going to be for dung beetles, and possibly the gardener and whatnot. Actually, no, the gardener will probably be in the central structure. Hopefully in the kitchen. I'll have to see what the range is like. If I'm lucky, I can get it in the kitchen. Sometimes you can't. I've had a few builds where it's lined up perfectly, and then others where it's literally just out of range. Okay, so now I've got that one done, I'm just going to nip around and do this one. A bit closer. That's the one. These railings, until they're made invisible, will probably make the towers look a little bit funny. But I have seen it with the towers in place without them, so I'm not going to stress over its look at this point. Oh, you have to. I'll hop on for that last one. Awesome. I like it when you can just step off. Such a pretty game. I haven't actually set this base up to have really great views. There's going to be a few spots that have good views, but it's mostly going to be these little walkways around the outside. Ooh, I need some more. Oh, what are you doing? Thank you. I hate you. I hate the bands you like. I tell you what, the amount of times I've actually been killed by my own quetzals over the time I've been building, you would be absolutely amazed. And usually it's just I walk past, and this is before the allied looking thing was actually a thing. And I'd walk past, and the quetzal would look at me and just knock me off the. Oh, I didn't get any. Just knock me off the structure. And of course, you'd end up falling to your death, and yeah. Some of them have done it more times than others. There's a couple that I was tempted to turn into dinner. They weren't such good levels. Now is that going to put me... Yes, it's going to put me into it. Of course it is. If I come upwards there, to keep the wings mostly off it. Modelling these won't take long. It'll be probably about as long as running around and actually putting them in place. Once you've set one of the models, you can just run around in a circle and just click away with the model selector. It's nice and easy. I won't make them invisible just yet though, just in case I forget if I've actually done them or not. Once they're transparent, I might go past and go, did I do that or did I not do that? It's the same reason I won't be doing the main foundations below. Well, actually, it's a different reason, but the foundations below won't get made invisible until the end, just in case I need to make changes. Well, actually, that doesn't look too bad with the models on them. Okay, so I better check. Okay, so we're doing pretty well for time at the moment. So those are all in place. Done all the outsides. Haven't done the sloped walls inside these. So I'm going to shoot up to the top. Now I might have to go through the wall to do those. Just because of the way I've set it up. Now that one I can do. I suppose I could just pull out some of the slopes. Ah yes, there was that spot too. Lose the adobe. Grab a few of those. And I want 10 of each of those. Set up my hotbar. I cannot stress how important it is to make sure your hotbar is set up in a way that you can access it nice and easily. It probably sounds like I'm just going on and on about it, but it really is an important factor. Why is that sticking up so much? Oh, is that one that snapped above? That makes sense. Okay, so that one's all done. That one's all done. I thought that side needed them as well. I'm mistaken. It's fine. Okay, so I'll take the top one out and then the bottom one. It's actually not a bad little doorway. And which one's 4? That's excellent. Now, you'll notice the picture for the 4 is the exact other direction of what it placed at for what I'm doing. If I was to follow the right shape, it tends to snap opposite of what you expect it to. If that makes sense. There we go. All done. Obviously I'm going to need to fill out the greenhouse with the actual structure, but that's fine. Oh, that looks like that. Got any tries on me? I'm going to create a snap point. Might have to go back and add a couple in from the outside. It's entirely possible I might actually forget to add these bits in. Cycling through the snaps, I'm not actually getting that snap point. Oh, there was one there that I can use though. Ah. Of course you did. Why wouldn't you? Work with me. Oh, wrong one. Right. Now that's in place. Will you let me snap the other one? Oh, that looked like it might have been it. No. Okay. It's fine, it'll have to be done from the outside. Just cover the top of that just to remove. Well, it's all going to be hidden anyway, so I don't really need to hide that. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the entrance. I might actually do an entrance onto this level. I had planned to do it 3 high, so it would be a lot higher. I'd drop it down into that, it would look quite cool. So while I've got time, I think I might shoot around and fill some of these walls in. Now, I am going to do a rim around the top. Quite looking forward to seeing how that looks. But I'll do some of these first. I'd like to get some of the amount of tiles. I'd like to get some of the inside work started on, just so I feel like I'm getting somewhere. Sometimes you need a bit of instant gratification, just finish something. Just helps the build progress a little bit. And let's face it, this is pretty instant gratification compared to some of the snaps I've been working with. It's just click, 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 click. And that makes me happy. Oops. Now, I could have gone 4 high along here. It would have kept with the look of it quite happily. I decided on 3 because there's going to be hatch frames. I can't access you from there. I don't even think I can access you where you are. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's going to be hatch frames in the side, and I'd like them set so that they're down a little bit. They would be just for flyers, so it's not like I have to get any land dinos in. I mean, let's face it, we're 30-40 walls above the water. It's not like anything's going to need to walk in the door. Now, I was going to remove all the supports. I think I'm actually going to add some pillars in. I like the idea of some pillars, but not like the pillars that comes with standard. I do have some try. Move some of them. I don't need those. All those. That's all the try I've got on me. Grab just some regular ceilings while I'm at it. And let's pick a spot. Work over here. Why did I pick this spot? Because it's next to that entrance. Now I'm going to want to do some shaping around there at some point. So first things first, I'm going to take this out to here. Ooh. I screwed up. I wasn't paying quite enough attention there. So the screw up I made is this should actually be in square. Oh, that snapped down onto the ramp, not like that. I love the fact that the ramps snap properly. I think it's a bit of a awesome feature. The roofs that most people use for this kind of work, I don't really like. I mean, they're great items to have in the game, but there's just something about them that they don't work quite the way I would like them to. If the snap points were the same as a ramp, except having the side ones as well, I think they'd be a lot better. Then again, why would you need a ramp if they work like that? Hell, I'm just glad that S Plus added the stone ramps. Now the slope down into here, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do. So I'm going to work around the rooms. I'll add the squares in again. So I must have a house buff in here on and off, because the rain keeps stopping and starting, so I'm at least partially buffed. Is that 4? Yeah, it is 4. Okay. I wonder why it keeps stopping over here. Or maybe it isn't going to now. Of course it isn't. I don't worry too much about the house buff. I do such big builds that it's usually a surprise if the house buff actually works. If the ceiling's over about 6, I think it is, maybe 8, then it tends to just stop. I wish there was a way of fixing it, like air conditioning or something, if that made the buff work to a bigger size. That'd be really cool. I wouldn't mind adding in extra aircon just to combat that. Great. This is going to be a great little hangar. Where the hell did that snap? Oh, that snapped from the outside, didn't it? Oh, now let's just snap to that other one that's on the outside. That wasn't so bad. Just have to make sure it's placing where I want it to. Okay, apparently some of my tries are not in the same stack. Okay. Why did you snap there, I wonder? I don't even know how I picked that up. Oops. I may end up swapping the slopes in here with the glass. I quite actually like that. I think that was quite cool. And I'll probably stick them on all of the tri-sides, not just the ones that have the entrances. I think that could be quite a good look. Wait, so if I go down here it stops raining. Really? So if I go up into this spot here where it's like really built in, go figure. Welcome to Ark. How did that snap there? That should not be able to snap there. There is no snap point on the side to allow that. That is bizarre. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my platform mostly in place now. It's actually gone around quite a long way. Come on, up on. I don't know, maybe I will open this up and get rid of those supports. Before I do so, I will definitely back up the save game, because this is a huge area. I would hate to have that drop out. In fact, I think it would actually crash my server, because the server I'm running is literally just on another computer next to me, and it's not a fast computer. This is actually my other half's computer that I'm recording on. We bought it for not long ago with the idea that I could use it for recording at the same time. So I'm just gonna... The recording went a bit funny there because I've alt-tabbed out. I'm just looking at the time. We're a little bit under what we normally are, but I think I'm going to end the video there. So I hope you like what you see. Remember, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and take care and enjoy your building.